Art is supposed to be a place where conversations of all kinds are are to be had, or at least that's what I thought. As someone who is very outspoken, but at the same time careful about what I say when it comes to um, tender subjects that could cause discomfort to people that are not necessarily readily open to conversations where there is pushback, it sometimes makes me hesitate to have a conversation that some may find unpleasant. However, as an artist, I've become very concerned with where I exist within the realm of art today. I am a straight black man who does not necessarily talk about the very finite area of interest expressed by a lot of African American artists. Um, when I paint a tree, there are no strange fruit attached to it. Um, when I speak of my own masculinity, it's not in defiance of a woman's femininity. It's not in defiance of feminism. It's a proclamation that I'm here too. And as I watch the landscape of art become replaced by people that are not of the patriarchy, I still see the same behaviors that they once, rallied against that was a part of the patriarchy. Here's the interesting thing about me. I was never a part of either of those conversations as a straight black man. Um, as a straight black man that was free of mind and not weighed down by some kinds of shackles. In fact, in order for me to be an artist, it's almost prerequisite as a black man that I have some kind of shackles or that I say something about post colonialism, a struggle of some kind, identity. That's steep deep in race. And however way you may feel about that, and I'll say this because I know that there will be that one person that says something about me not wanting to be black. I'll preface this by saying all forms of expression are important within the arts, but so is mine. Let me tell you a little bit about who I am. I've gone through a vast amount of metamorphosis as a human being. There was a time that my world was very black, and I adhered to the things that black people were supposed to do or were not supposed to do. And I watched this carry over into the arts. I was even asked one time by a black person once and by a white person once, why don't you paint black things? Why don't you, what is your aversion against, painting black people? I've painted nearly everyone, including red people, orange people, purple people, green people, yellow people, fuchsia people. I've painted because I enjoy the freedom of painting. I enjoy the freedom of sculpture and form. I don't paint because I'm looking to show solidarity with a category of human being. And it's difficult for me because I'm in love with human beings. I don't know where that leaves me. And I've noticed a trend, and that trend is um, black art is becoming more and more popular, but the subject matter is very narrow. Masculinity in the arts is non existent. And if I don't tread carefully and I create a piece that explores masculinity that isn't through a female lens, then it becomes toxic. When did art become such that it censors itself to the point of where it's reflective of the very community that a lot of artists say don't understand them? When did it become divisive? When was it a world where it's okay to speak freely as long as I agree with you? When did it become that? Now, the funny thing is, there are people that would say stuff to me, and I would tread very carefully because I've existed on both sides of the fence. And as far as the archies, whether it's patriarchy, a matriarchy, a genderarchy, they've all exhibited the same small behavior. They manage to leave someone out when they don't have to. And this is very disconcerting. I know that we'd love to believe that we in the art community are above the fray and we're the actual free thinkers. But the more I experience the art community sometimes, I know this is not the case. I think sometimes we're the biggest virtue signalers the world has ever seen. Because in our world, when we have the power to embrace everybody, we don't, just as the patriarchy didn't. So, is there really any nobility to us, or are we fooling ourselves? I have to tread lightly about any proclamations I make as a straight, masculine, black man. Is that really freedom within this so called free realm of creativity? I want you to ask yourself that question. And I don't mean to get political. This isn't a political thing. This is me speaking as a human being that's a part of all this, or so I thought. I want you to consider that maybe our community's not as big as it portrays itself to be. And I want you to do that because that would be a starting point to actually realize that proclamation that we made as a community. I have a place too. You have a place. And it's not one of relegation. It's not one existing within the box. I have a right to be outside of the box. I have a right to celebrate those characteristics of me that are innately masculine, that are innately black, that are innately heterosexual, without taking away from somebody who has different attributes than me. And I would like to see us have conversations without outrage. I would like to see us exhibit the IQs that we claim to have. As it stands right now, I don't really fit the proper and preferred category of the day. And I think that there's freedom within that. I think the fact that I am on the outskirts is a very good thing because it gives me a perspective to see the entire playing field. This is your guy, the Brave Artist, asking you to share, like, or subscribe with others if you find our content interesting. And if you have any input or opinions about what I've talked about so far, feel free. There's no censorship here. Take care.